Hi, I'm your Girl Pho from Western Australia, and you're watching the AU Review.
We've been talking a bit with the other Perth artists today, and one thing that I always love about going to Perth is how eclectic a scene it is. How do you feel like you fit into kind of the Perth scene, so to speak?
I think Perth actually has a huge uprise in neo-soul, jazz kind of culture. Whether that's from a lot of people who have taken the route of studying music at WAPA, and a lot of those people who study meet each other and they form these amazingly crafted bands, and they just happen to be really interesting people at the same time. So I think our culture in Perth of music right now is it's so vast, with like jazz to electronic and then the underground scene is a whole new level with like drum and bass and house music, that it is sometimes it's easy to just feel like, where am I like sitting in this scene and where do I want to be? And a lot of the time I get really confused about what I want as my direction, if I want to kind of go the more commercial route and like try and write to be played on Triple J, or if I want to go where where I spend a lot of time with friends, and my brother is in the scene of quite an underground scene, which is like almost made to be against the commercial way. So I'm still figuring out where I want to be in that spot, and I think I see it in quite a large pool of. I'm not very individual or unique in Perth. I think there's actually quite a lot of amazing talent with neo-soul, female vocalists, and then amazing jazz bands behind them.
And seeing some of the lineups you do play on, even just over the last couple of months, it seems like it's a pretty good representation of that kind of eclecticism that we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're sitting alongside bands which aren't necessarily of your ilk.
Yeah.
Do you take a lot away from those sorts of shows in terms of kind of when you play alongside an act who has been doing it for a long time, and how they sort of approach their shows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only two to 3 years in this scene, and I will always try and take something. I don't think I've ever gone into something thinking I know it all, and so where just from how you conduct yourself in a show, how you thank the sound guy, how you thank people for coming, you thank the support acts, you make the effort to watch the support acts or stay for the last act sort of thing. And I think also just learning that in Perth, I know that I've been told when I've travelled to other cities to play that WA audiences are the hardest audiences to play to, supposedly, which I was actually shocked by.
What do you think that comes down to, or at least that the image of that comes down to?
I think maybe I think they could be right in the sense that we're hard to win over. Maybe it's because there's so much in our city already with like amazing talent, and everyone is working so hard. Maybe that's it, because everyone even considers themselves a musician or an artist, and so when someone new is up on the stage, or someone from a different city, everyone is very like, all right, what you got? Yeah, okay, they're actually pretty good, but like, we're not going to show it to them, because I don't know, I'm not sure why, if it's because we're so isolated, or it's because it's such a competitive scene already. I don't really know, but I think forgot the question, to be honest. I've just gone on my own rant. Learning from people, and that's what you were asking, right? Yeah. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring it out.
And the rest of the year, what does it hold for you?
Lots of shows still. It's my favourite part of it. Just performing and writing lots of music for the rest of the year, just to be sure that what I do release in my EP next year is the best I can release. And yeah, that's about it. I've had quite a big year. I'm happy to kind of call it where it is in terms of doing any more tours. I've already done 2 national, and then I did Mexico and now Singapore, and I'm just like so stoked. But I think I need to just get back in the studio now and write, like, as much as I love performing and traveling with my music.
Did you just casually throw Mexico into
the
loop
threw that in there. I was like,
how did that come about?
I got to play Festival Viven, which is a festival in Mexico, and I just happened to be collaborative. I have a collaborative relationship with a brother duo. They're like electronic funk house called Tyrell, and they make amazing electronic music, but they booked to play this festival, and they're like, we need a vocalist, and I already have songs with them as a top line vocalist, so I flew over and did the festival with them, and that was crazy. It was like with names like Claptone and Justice, and like
Wow.
yeah, it was surreal.